Welcome to the Student Financials online training. We will start by going to Cal State's homepage and clicking on My Coyote. Enter your Coyote ID and password and select the Login button. Once in the My Coyote portal, you will click on the PeopleSoft icon. To navigate, you will click on the main menu drop-down, go down to Student Financials, and then over to View Customer Account and click. This will bring up the customer account search page. You will notice that our business unit should default to SBCMP. If not, you can type that in. You have the option to search for a student by ID, which is the student's My Coyote ID, by the national ID, which is the student's social security number, and or the student's last and first name. We are going to use the student's ID and then click on Search. This will open the customer account homepage, where you will be able to view a student's current balance, anticipated financial aid for the awarded year, academic information, any holds, and view individual term data. The customer account will always show the student's name and ID at the top with the current running balance if there is any. The hyperlinks are in blue and can be selected to view more information for that area. We will start by looking at the academic information hyperlink. Once clicked on, you will be able to see the students' enrolled units, billed units, their academic plan, career level, and residency. To see specific class information, you would click on the enrollment hyperlink. Here you can view specific class enrollment status and the add or drop dates for that class. You would click on Return and then Return again to exit back to the customer account home page. Looking at the top right-hand corner, you will see the two symbols indicating any negative or positive service indicators. Once clicked on, you will see a list of the service indicators. On the left-hand side, you will see that the code is hyperlinked, and you can click on it to see specific information pertaining to that service indicator. This is a good place to see a description of the service indicator, contact information of who to refer the student to, and the service impact. To exit, you will click on OK. Then click on Cancel to go back to the customer account homepage. To view the breakdown of what financial aid the student has been awarded for that academic year, you can click on the blue hyperlink at the bottom called View Anticipated Aid. Two things to remember when viewing this information is it will only show grants and what loans the student has accepted and only what financial aid that has not been released. You can arrow over to see the different terms and click on Return to exit back to the home page. You can click on the hyperlink Due Charges to view the charges due by their due date. You will notice there are two columns, the first showing the individual balances due by date and the second column as a running total. At the bottom under By Item, you will see the details of what specific items are creating the charge or charges. Then you will click on Return to exit back to the home page. By clicking on the Payment Plan hyperlink, you will be able to see if a student is set up on our Installment Payment Plan, International Payment Plan, or if they have a third-party sponsor. A side note to the third-party sponsor is that when viewing a term in the Account Details area, it will only say Move to Third Party, but not give the specific name of the third party. It is only within this hyperlink that you will be able to see the name of the third-party sponsor. To go over the middle section of the Customer Account homepage, we will start on the left-hand side with the account type. This is where charges or credits are assigned to during their setup process. There can be 6 different account types, and each one creates its own row for a specific term. So for example, a term can have more than one row where charges and credits lie. To name the 6 different account types, they are tuition and fee, College of Extended Learning, housing, payment plan, emergency loan, and SIS conversion. Next to the account type is the account number, which is assigned to each account type during its setup process, and will be the same for each account type. Then you have the term and the balance, which will show a balance due or a credit for that specific account type and term. The open date is when the first transaction was created for that account type and term. At the end of the row, you will see that the account details is hyperlinked so that you can click on it and see more information pertaining to that row. Once in account details, you will see the student's ID and name, our business unit, the account number and term, and if there is a balance. You will see the total debits, which are made up of all fees and general refunds, then the total credits, which are made up of payments, financial aid credits, fee waiver credits, and third-party credits. Next, you will see applied, which are the payments that have applied to charges, and then at the end, unapplied, which is the payments that have not applied to any charges. There are 2 rows of headings. The top row has the item, being the description of the item type, the term, and the amount, being the amount of the item type's charge or credit. The second row has the class, which will display related class info if a charge for a course fee is assessed, the last activity date, which displays the most recent date of activity generated for that item type, and balance, which will show if a payment has applied to that item. This can be 0 or reduced to an active outstanding balance. At the end of each item row, there's a hyperlink called Item Details, which you click on to view specific information pertaining to that item type. Once on this screen, you can see if a payment split between account types or terms and what specific charges it is applying to. You would click on Return and then Return again to exit back to the Customer Account home page. I will briefly go over the hyperlinks at the bottom, starting with Items by Term. This is another good way to view the same information found in the Account Details hyperlink. It will start with the oldest term first and work its way down. You can arrow over to find the term you want, or you can click on View All and just scroll down to the term you need. Working within this hyperlink is like working in Excel. You will notice that the headings are blue, which means you can click on them to filter that term's data. For example, if I click on Item Effective Date, it will put all the data in date order of how it posted in that term. You will also notice at the top of each term there is a small blue box, which once clicked on will download that term's data straight into Excel if needed. You would then click on Return to exit back to the Customer Account home page. 99% of the time, you will use the Account Details and Items by Term hyperlinks to view a student's term data. Depending on if you are looking for a specific charge or credit, you may use one of these other hyperlinks down at the bottom, like the Items by Date hyperlink, which can be clicked on to show you a view of all item types posted to the account by date, regardless of what term they are for, the Detailed Trans hyperlink, which will show you the posting of item types with the item number first without a posting date, and the Item Summary hyperlink, which will sort the data by grouping all item types together regardless of date or term. These 3 hyperlinks are rarely used and will really depend on what you are trying to find within the student's account. To get really familiar with the customer account, explore all blue hyperlinks. There is nothing you can do to break anything. This will conclude your training for student financials.